Now, where were we? Ah, yes. Dennis Foster was just taking me to the cleaners.
Everybody's so used to coming up to aft.
Well, I know you like it that way.
So, remember when I said that I was on a strict budget?
How's that working out for you?
I really don't think that Dennis is some kind of charlatan. I just think that he's used to a higher demographic of people coming to his shop.
Play me down the stairs, boys.
I'm slightly afraid to see what's in store for me when Dennis and I go through the rest of the boat. I can't explain it, but some people are just born for adventure. They hear the calling, and they're compelled to get off the couch and see what's around the corner or over that horizon. I'm going on this quest to prove that the heart of history's greatest explorers and adventurers is alive and well today. This is your invitation to
escape from reality.
Your support is putting wind in our sails so that we can share these adventures with you.
So what we have here is your molded non-skid deck here. So you have two options over here. You can either try to sand this all down and put all new molded non-skid, which will definitely break the bank.
Right.
Or we can sand this pattern down, repair all the body work in the areas, prime it with the high build and 545 epoxy primer, and then spray a non-skid pattern on it like they do on the yachts,
Okay.
which would be sand and paint.
Good.
And you spray a nice pattern that's even and it's uniform with everything, and you don't slip and fall on your butt. It's the same process. Once we sand everything flat here, section by section, we'll repair any pinholes or cracks or body work and get all that done. And the primer will attach the new paint to the existing gel coat substrate.
Every one of these hatches has, let's just say, maximized its level of investment.
Yeah, because you can do two things in here. You can either change the handles and take this piece of acrylic or Lexan out of here, make a new one. You can see it's already crystallizing. That's from all the sun, direct sunlight on there too. So what we do is go with like a 30-40% gray on here, they call that, and it'll be a lot darker, won't let as much sunlight in there, and you can control it better. But most likely this looks like a direct replacement.
And
Yeah.
then what I'd like is for it to be as tinted as you can make it. If
Got
the
it.
guy on the inside wants to look at the stars,
Yeah.
he can open the hatch. If it's raining, can't see stars anyway.
Right,
So let's
right.
just go for dark. This is probably the most expensive thing on the boat is all these voids. I was told it's just cosmetic, voids from the factory.
Right.
It's just a bubble in the vacuum bagging process.
Right.
I have later come to realize that these are not environmentally sealed. Water finds its way into the roof of the salon, and this boat has an indoor swimming pool, not voluntarily.
Got it.
So we're gonna need to troubleshoot, trace, and find the leak. I bet you if we pull those panels down on the inside of the salon,
Yeah.
you're gonna see skid marks all over the place. It's gonna look like a high school bathroom. The aesthetic, I think you're probably just gonna have to match it with the same molded non-skid. But before we do that, we gotta find the offending area that's leaking water inside the boat.
So what we do is when we sand a lot of this stuff down, that'll be all repaired and from the outside and fixed. And then when we pull the panels down from the inside, it'll give us a clear look of what's going on underneath there and possibly be able to fix that leak.
Possibly.
Yeah, because it might
I heard
not
you
just
say
be
possibly.
It might not just be from this one. When you're doing a leak, it's a process of troubleshooting.
Okay.
So you have to go to this area, then you go to that area, then you'll redo your caulking, then you pull some of the screws out from penetrations.
So you'll fix the leak. Great. Got it.
Yes, there you go.
I want to look at new sails. A lot of people are using Precision. Maybe
Right.
Max sails, North sails. These are the big players.
Right. And what we can also do is we'll have Nansen Underwood, which is our rigging company, come over here and do a rigging inspection and just evaluate everything and then give us a report, and then we're going to get a hold of Max Sails and have them come out there and look at the sails and see what they recommend for the this type of boat and obviously the newest technology.
Awesome. Very,
right.
very cool. The onboard computer, the navigation systems,
Right.
everything's great, but it's not state of the art. And technology has advanced quite a bit since 2006 to now. You know, I've got probably 5,000 pounds of copper wire Cat5 phone cable. I mean, it's old school. Remember the old
Yeah.
phone cables? I'd want to take anything that isn't needed out and upgrade everything. And I'd like to explore vendors Right now, I've got Ray Marine on board,
Right.
and I'd like to look at Garmin and B&G.
Yes, yes.
And the wireless solution so I can get rid of all this stuff.
Yeah, what we would do is have them come and take a survey and evaluation of the boat and then recommend any of the newest updated electronic and the application and the installation method, and we might possibly obviously get rid of this and anything that we don't need. So we'll go ahead and look at that and get that surveyed and come up with a plan and a program and what type of electronics, and then get that in the works for you.
Well, if it hasn't gotten expensive enough, I don't know if you're aware, but this boat also has an interior.
Really?
So we might want to go inside and...
Oh, okay. I thought we were just hanging out on the exterior.
No, get your legal pad, because we got...
All right.
This party's only just beginning. This teak deck, there's two schools of thought. Let it age and let it look classic, or seal it. You varnish it, seal it.
Yeah.
Problem is, this is always wet. When people go swimming, they come here to get their drinks, and if we seal it with too much of lacquer coat on it,
Right.
this becomes slip and slide.
Yeah, so there's a couple things you can do with here. Depending on the thickness, you still got the thickness. I've already looked. There's plenty of teak there. When it gets down below 1/4 of an inch, it's real thin. You want to replace the decks. But here, you can save this. And what I can do here is a refinishing job. We sand this with a couple different grits of sandpaper, and we'll smooth it out. These decks will come right back alive. They'll look like they're brand new. And then what happens is when the water gets on them again, they start turning brown and they look, a little bit dirty and moldy and crusty all the time. So what we'll do is you put 1 to 2 coats of teak sealer on this. It'll absorb into the pores, and that way you don't have nothing on the direct top surface where you're slipping off.
Got it.
So what we'll do is we'll do the refinishing on these. I'll make these things look brand spanking new, like they just got replaced, which we didn't. And then we'll put 1 to 2 coats of sealer on here so that it's sealed, and it preserves that color and that freshness for quite a while.
These cushions are brand new.
Huh?
These cushions
Oh,
are
we're
brand
getting rid of those.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I want to put something nice there.
Okay.
Those are garbage. Whoever built them should take them and stick them up their one color. When I do these, I do a different color every, there'll be 3 groups of stripes here. And then I'll do the piping a different color, and they pop. This is just like blah and plain.
Dennis is a sales guy. If there's one thing that needs to be replaced or repaired, he just said, screw it. We're gonna go get the best that's ever been built with alien technology from the future and get that on the boat.
I just got these.
Yeah, well.
Like literally, this is like, months, 2 months old.
Yeah, I know, and you can already see what's going on here with the foam. It's not very good. It's already starting to warp, it's already starting to bow. They have the textiline here. And when you do these, they should have these little grommet drains here too. So they put little bronze grommet drains in the corners. So when water does get into this is an open cell foam like it should be, it'll drain out. But sometimes this gets trapped between the textiline and the gel coat surface. And then when you have water in between these, and you leave them sit there for a while, they get bubbles into the fiberglass because they're just sitting there.
I think Dennis at one point forgot that this is not some private rich guy's yacht. This is a side job for me, and all this is a charter boat.
We'll come up with something real nice for you. I'll design something. We'll do the piping in a different color. We might have some stripes here in 3 different areas so that all of this seating arrangement that you have here pops, especially since it's party central.
All right. That's not what I wanted to hear, because these, I just bought these.
So Dennis is like, you need rawhide leather couches and suede ceilings and a fur toilet seat and granite countertops and glow-in-the-dark silkworms knitting your bedspread. You can tell Dennis is used to captains with mega budgets, with gigantic dreams. That's just not exactly what I was looking for, but that's what I got.
So I had a guy build me a table out of starboard, and then he put these little rails on here,
Right.
so that it's not
Yeah.
going to fall onto the deck, and then it will also drain
Yeah.
if it gets hit with rain or something like that. So love to know what you want to do there. And if you are replacing these cushions, and I've known you long enough to know that you're going to insist, and if you're going to redo this, if you could make it so that something could be fashioned on here so that this can turn into a bed. Then this whole thing here is now the biggest bed in the boat.
Got it. What we would do is we put ledges here. There'd be like little rails like this that we put here. So when this goes down, it sets on these ridges.
Okay.
When you put this down, you can adjust this. It sets on these ridges, and you can have another cushion that you pull out. You put right over here, and then this is one big bed.
Bingo.
Yeah, so that would be good.
All right, so now that you've just shattered all my hopes and dreams here for Party Central, so in here is a 15 kW genset. Way overpowered for this boat, so that's why it's got this huge compartment here. If I open this, you've got the Godzilla of all generators. Is there anything we can do with this functional space here that is, your interior design ladies, you're somebody with feng shui, I got a whole lot of space and I don't want to put fishing rods, because what happens when you're on charter for several days, any flat surface on a boat is going to attract clutter. And then you get to sea, and then and something falls down, and they always look at me like I ran over a speed bump or something. So, alternatively, on the other side, I've got a ice maker in here. This is 110, so it only works at shore or when I'm got the generator on.
Got it.
Is there a 12-volt ice maker out there that can fit in this plumbed, filtered spot?
I'm pretty sure there is. We'll just have to look at what type and what brand based on obviously your electrical requirements. But 12 volt, there is a 12 volt ice maker out there, because obviously 110 you have to run off of there. So this would be good because this would tie in with your serving area here. Now that I've seen that window open and I'm trying to get this in my head of being a little bit creative, you're going to be serving there. So having this like a little bar / countertop area where you can serve the food and people can kind of turn around, grab it, and come right back out to the table
kind of
and
buffet
eat.
thing, and this is where they feed, and this is where they serve.
That would be really good.
Also, this is plumbed for a sink or an ice maker or a fridge. So I've put an ice maker in here, and there's a filter unit in there, and you'll be able to see. This whole area here sweats. So this little area is always wet. You'll see where that green slime is.
Yes, I see it right there.
So it's wet in here. It leaches out here, and then what ends up happening is, because I don't have a line management solution, it turns, all my lines now have seaweed on them.
Got it.
They got algae growing on them. So this sits in the sun, and it's just going to turn into the Amazon. So this whole thing here, there should be some kind of tray under there, and some kind of drill hole or drain. Not unlike this drain here. Why doesn't that drain right into here? It's only 6 inches.
So we either need to come up with a vent where these two areas can ventilate, maybe on the steps here or something, or we've seen where we've had to put computer fans in here before and just blow up some ventilation in there. Like if you have an ice maker refrigerator, to put a computer fan there to keep it ventilated.
Okay, so the leak is somewhere up here behind these panels. You can see how some of these panels are bowing. They've definitely been hit by moisture.
Yeah, what we would do is we take all these panels, these are done with a button system, so these are buttons, and then there's a screw there, you pull the screws down and take the panels. You'll see some of the panels are warped. The reason why this is because the screws are too far apart. So if you got a really long run like this, there should probably be another screw within each just to keep it straight, because what it does is it sags over time, especially when you're running a boat and doing this. And when we take all of these panels down, we'll do a water test up there, and we'll kind of look for any holes or weep holes or penetrations where that water might be coming in and running down, and we'll be able to identify the leak, fix it, and then when we put these panels back up, we can add extra buttons and secure them properly so where they're not sagging or just being warped.
Got it.
Hit subscribe so you don't miss what happens next.
Escape from reality.